And forget about us because we're just there to be of help to young people like you that will push hard for the industry natin na mahal na mahal natin, no? That's one. Secondly, my point of trying to share to our younger generation. So nakakagulat, imagine, junior derbies sa 1970s before martial law. So medyo yan ang labanan nyo ng history ng sabong na sana it's well documented man lang in many ways that pwedeng balikan natin at any given time. Like 1990, 1991, naglagay tayo ng Tahor 1 in Libro. I mean, we need that. At the same time now na dumadami na masyado, practically in all corners of the Philippines, may breeder na.
That's right.
Other than dati, may sabungero in all corners of the world, in the Philippines. Ngayon, in all corners of the Philippines, may breeder na.
That's right, oo.
Kaya medyo, kailangan magkaroon naman tayo ng background of people that have been involved, deeply involved.
Opo.
And give them a piece of the action. And they have to be remembered.
Sir Boy, naputol yung ating conversation ng ating unang episode na pagpanayam sa inyo. Doon sa pag-put up ninyo, nasa transition period tayo ng pag-put up ninyo ng Tukaan Show as well as the Sultada Show, no, na napakalaking naging impact. Ito ang nagbukas sa kamalayan ng mga sabongero. Alam niyo ho, mga kasalpukan, dati, pag ang congressman o si mayor ang umakyat ng ruweda at kalaban ang hindi kilala, panigurado po anim yan at maninanalo si congressman at mayor. By that time, napakadamot ng mga tao noon when it comes to conditioning. Sinisikretong conditioning, mga manok nila, kung sino may kaya, sila lang ho ang nakaka-avail ng mga magagandang materyales. But with this Tukaan Show, na nandun si Sir Boy Diaz, at he teaches us kung paano mag-condition ng manok. Naturally, naging eye-opener yun ginawa niyo, Sir Boy, sa Tukaan with Sir Emoy, na buksan ang kamalayan ng mga tao, gawing patas ang sabong. Ngayon, maglaban si congressman at hindi kilalang breeder, kadalasan nasisilat ang mga big time. Ang laki na natulong ng Tukaan with your help, Sir Boy.
Well, nasa exposure yan ng isang breeder. Depende kung saan rota pupuntahan mo eh. Like there are always 2, 3, 4 highways that you can take eh. Nasa sa'yo na yun because sabi ko nga earlier in the first episode mo, you have to look at things as an investment. Hindi na pwede yung gagastos ka na walang balik eh. Otherwise, it affects the family and it will affect you as a person, no? So my point of view here is, look at it as an investment. Whether you break even, you're happy, or you share your wealth with others, or you share your knowledge with others, and at the same time, para ma-prolong naman yung kanilang happiness when it comes to this kind of spectator sport as sabong. Malaking bagay kasi, nagpapahaba ng buhay, sabi nga nila. I mean, let's face it, you wait for the chicks to grow older. So, ayun ang ating pananaw na, which I believe, dapat sana, saka na lang yung sugal. Let's go for it. Alam mo, ang grupo namin dito sa Manila Cockers Club, we're not after the prize money. Siyempre, attractive yun, maganda yan, no? But, yung camaraderie that you bestow upon each other as members of the club, malaking bagay. This is not an association, this is just a club. So, masaya kami. So, ganun din sana sa iba. Kaya ang gusto namin ipahiwatig din sa publiko naman.
Sir Boy, balikan ko lamang yung mga araw na talagang namayagpag kayo sa industriya dahil sa show po ninyo sa TV, yung Tukaan Show na pinutat ninyo ni Sir Emoy. I'm just being curious, ano ang naging motivation nyo that time na nasa TV na kayo, marami nang kumikilala sa inyo, nire-respeto kayo, ever since, hanggang ngayon, ng ating mga kasabong?
The one that pushed me to it also is Emoy. Without Emoy, I would not be what I am now also at the same time. But my exposure to the American breeders, American feeders, really catapulted my knowledge somehow so wide that I knew for a fact na medyo lamang na ako pagdating sa labanan. Because I knew what to do and I knew what not to do. Nung pumasok si Emoy as early as 1988, we were already in touch. I have his letters, asking me about bloodlines and so forth. And surprisingly, remember, he's not even from here in Manila, but he was based in Cagayan de Oro. So malaking bagay yung someone from there whose love for the sport is just unimaginable, na makakausap mo, makapagkwentuhan sa'yo, and eventually getting involved into the business na hindi daw siya makatulog kung hindi siya magkakausap kami tungkol sa negosyo. Lahat ng bagay until finally Tukan came into being. I give that all to Emoy. Partner natin yan. Wherever he is, he's my partner.
To those who do not know about the background or yung camaraderie at friendship ni Sir Emoy, paano ho kayo nagkakilala?
Well, at one time, I got a call, and then a letter, and then asking me how much he's going to spend to get a hen or a brood cow from Nene Araneta of all people. So at that time, I was conditioning also for Nene. That was my love, my happiness. I was conditioning for a lot of people. So yun ang mga time na nagkakaroon kami ng communications na ni Emoy, and then wala na eh. Talagang I think he forgot about his business. At that time kasi, ang negosyo ni Emoy, may shell station siya sa Cagayan de Oro. So, basically, all angles within his family life are involved in sabong. So, that's how it became known to everybody. Tukan and Sultada are here to stay. Whoever manages the new corporation or the new group now, we wish them all the best.
Gaano ka-passionate when it comes to sabong si Sir Emoy?
Iba-ibang klase. One time I was asked that. Sabi ko, ang sagot ko na lang ganito. Emoy is Emoy, Emoy is Emoy. Yun na yun. I cannot explain further. Because it's like saying, the gamecock industry that Emoy started involving himself into has been a part of the lives of so many people. Respected and well-respected lot.
Sir Boy, huling tanong bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating kuan. Nung nawala ho si Sir Emoy, gaano kalaki ang naging epekto nito sa industriya, and especially for you?
Well, I lost a friend. That's the most important thing. In fact, I'm getting goose pimples now. Because I loved Emoy for quite a long time that we were together. The honesty of the person is very prominent in his personality itself. He was well liked by everybody. He didn't want to step in other people's shoes. Ibang klase sa Emoy. Para bang maski nagdano kalaki kang bato, tatamaan ka. Andyan ka pa rin. Hindi mo mapapahinto sa Emoy. He will always be there. With this energy, with this warmth, with this extremism to finish what he has started. Napakalaking bagay. And I have not seen anybody as of this minute, as of this second, who has duplicated Emoy's exploits as far as the cream crack industry is concerned. And that's, I can argue with anybody to that effect. Emoy is Emoy, Emoy is Emoy. Period.
Mga kasalpukan, nakita ho natin, ako personally sa pagpanayam kay Sir Boy, kung gaano kahalaga at kung gaano kalaki ang naiambag ni Sir Emoy sa industriya ho ng sabong. Nakatutuwang isipin na sa atin, especially sa mga kasalpukan ho nating mga miyembro all over the country, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, at sa mga kabataang breeder natin dito na pumapasok sa industriya. Ngayon, nalaman nyo na kung gaano kalaki ang naiambag ng mga taong ito nila Sir Boy sa industriya ho ng sabong, and yet, very unfortunate for me na ito yung mga nag-introduce sa atin sa industriya, and yet unti-unti silang tinatakpan ng pagkakataon, hindi nakikilala. And that's probably the main reason kung bakit po mga kasalpukan gusto nating buhayin ulit ang mga kagaya nila Sir Emoy sa katauhan ho ni Sir Boy Diaz. Speaking of Sir Boy, mga kasalpukan, paano ba siya naging breeder? Yung mga conditioning, natural conditioning method na talagang napaka-famous siya noong panahon na itinayo.